There's an old saying, to each his own. But with the upcoming GOP presidential debates, let's rephrase from to each his own to eat their own. Hi, I'm Pastor Marty, and this is the Afternoon Drive. Thank you so much for joining us today. Make sure you're a subscriber to the channel. Once you are, smack that bell below and click the word all so that you get notification of all of my rants, and then like and share this video so that we can get the word out and build up our algorithm. Thank you so much for joining us on the Afternoon Drive. Some of the Republicans are really trying to make a lot over the fact that Donald Trump made the big announcement over the weekend. Not only is he not participating in the upcoming Fox debate, but he may not do any of the debates. Now, Dan Bongino had an interesting take on this, and that is the fact that Donald Trump is really an effective debater. Now, I get it. He's not the kind of debater like the Lincoln-Douglas debates when we talk about getting deep and detailed into policy issue and the turning of a phrase and, articulating and explaining in depth a political policy, whether it be foreign policy, economic policy, etc. We get it. And if that was really what caused the American people to respond and vote accordingly, there would have been a president, Mitt Romney, because he mopped the floor with Barack Obamas when it came to point for point, detail for detail. But Mitt Romney has the personality of a wet dish rag. He looks like a plastic Ken doll with his fake hair. He's just the rhino version of Gavin Newsom. The American people saw him for the phony, fake plastic that he is. And they went with Obama in a time when Obama was definitely beatable. His approval numbers were down. He had his first term as the historic first black president of America. He had failed on so many levels, and he was ripe for the pickoff. And witness protection Romney couldn't pull it off. Out-debated him. Even had Chris Matthews nervous there. You out-debated him. Donald Trump doesn't debate like a Mitt Romney or even a Ronald Reagan. But Donald Trump gives a good show. Oh, baby, does Donald Trump give a good show. And it would be funny to watch him go after Chris Christie or, deep state Ron DeSantis. But he's opted not to do that. Now, Dan Bongino feels that will hurt him with independents because it gives him an opportunity to make his case to them. And right now, he's got a 46-point lead over the Republican field. He's tied with Joe Biden. And my feeling on this is this. Donald Trump tuning in, or Donald Trump joining in the debate, would have only allowed Christie and DeSantis and all of them to go after Trump. By Trump not being there, this is important, they now have to go after each other. The first couple of minutes, they will take their shots at Donald Trump not being there. They'll get asked questions, and responses will begin something like this. Well, the guy that has had this job before and claims he ought to have it again isn't here to tell us why, so I'll tell you why. What it's going to take is, after a round or two of that, will somebody like Vivek Ramaswamy take a shot at Ron DeSantis? Will he kneecap Chris Christie? And I am tired of getting these hits on Facebook from people that, who are you? Somebody named Hurd is running for the GOP nomination. Never heard of him before. And there's some other guy, they're each wanting like 40,000 people to donate $1 so that, they qualify for the first debate. And apparently one of them got it. He got 40,000 people to each donate $1, and now he's in. Who is he? And who cares? Let's be really clear about what's going on here. Right now, the nomination is Donald Trump's. You can love that, you can hate that, but that's the reality of it. It's Donald Trump's nomination. The other guys are trying to either be a spoiler, and that ain't happening, Mike Dents. You can't even pump gas for one of your own political TV commercials. He pulls up in a truck, a gas guzzler, pulls up in a truck, gets out, pulls the nozzle off the pump, puts it in, and starts talking into the camera. Do you remember when gas was less than $2 a gallon? Yeah, I do. We can get it there again. Well, first of all, no, you can't, because you didn't do it. Your boss, Donald J. Trump, did that. And you haven't got a clue how he got it there. And as you're talking about pumping gas and making it affordable for Americans, and the pump is dinging behind you, because you never actually pushed a lever picking a grade of gasoline. You never popped a card out of your wallet to pay for the gasoline. The whole thing was a photo op, and it was as optically bad as when George W. Bush, I should say H.W. Bush, standing in a supermarket being introduced to the technology that would scan the barcodes and tell the cashier automatically what the price was. And he stood there like a kid in the 1930s seeing a test of television at the county fair for the first time. And it sunk him as out of touch. Well, guess what? Most of the Republican field, you're the ones that are out of touch. You don't get it. And you're not going to unseat Donald Trump. What about this isn't clear, Mike? And your attack line of going after him over J6, it's not working. Not working. Chris Christie, you have the audacity to call Trump a liar. He didn't do any of the things he said he was going to do in his first term. What makes you think he'll get them done in his second term? Hey, Captain Obvious, how about you point out historically the truth here, that he had to fight not only the Democrats but his own party the first 2 years he was in office. You had to fight them all. In my opinion, he got an amazing amount done having to fight everybody, including his own party. And he certainly got done a lot more than the typical politician gets done. But with Donald Trump not being there in the Fox debate, these guys are going to have to debate each other. Will Chris Christie go after the anointed one, Ron DeSanctimonious? By the way, hey Ron, you got in this whole thing because Rupert Murdoch was going to have your back, and he had the funding, and now he's out there trying to get Youngkin from Virginia to run. Bump, ba-dum, bump. Because, we haven't got enough people running in the GOP field. Is Bolton going to be there? And again, nobody woke up one morning and go, oh my God, look at the country. I wish Asa Hutchinson from Arkansas would run. Please tell us you've done such wonders for Arkansas. How can we have an entire country of mobile homes? Seriously? Seriously? So they'll have to debate each other. And that is a brilliant strategy on Donald Trump's part. Because, again, he's got this nomination. Now, I do agree with Dan Bongini. I ought to do just one debate. Just one. Let the herd thin themselves out. Let them, commit GOP suicide. Let them thin out, see who's actually the last man standing, and then debate him. Or a couple of them. Because, again, Donald Trump will steal the show. I mean, does anybody really remember much about the 2016 GOP presidential debates other than, the one question that Megyn Kelly asked Donald Trump, or the statement, you've called women this, that, and fat pigs, and only Rosie O'Donnell. I mean, stole the show. That was it. Debate was over. And then on the CNN debate, when he went after Jeb Bush and the Bush crime dynasty. Bump, ba-dum, bump. I mean, so Donald Trump ought to do, I think, a debate and, flex his muscles a little bit, remind these guys of who he is and why they don't want any piece of him. I think there's that. I think that there's real credence to that. But he ought to just stay away from this for right now. And again, let these guys eat each other. I mean, not that Chris Christie needs much of an excuse to need a snack, but let these guys eat each other. Let's see what they do. It will be very interesting.